All right, here we going. How's it going, everybody? Wait a couple seconds here to make sure that we are officially live. Looks like we are. I'll double check on my end.
Yeah, we're live.
You see that, John? Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for sometimes my Facebook new live producer likes to take its sweet time jumping in. So I'll take this opportunity so you can see my screen here. And the first thing you should see, by the way, is my nice RCS remote workflows with cloud playout RCS disaster recovery. How's it going? Nate Mumford, Director of Sales Engineering. John Bono on the other side. You can see his little camera down here. The Assistant G Selector Product Manager. And we're joined today to talk about G Selector and Selector2GO. So if you have any questions in regards to G Selector or in regards to Selector2GO, certain workflows, certain questions, definitely feel free to chime in. We have our chat open over here. You can comment below. We can also go and you can email us live at rcsworks.com, or you can always DM us as well. I think you'll find that a lot of times we like to go and ask these questions, and then we'll give more detailed explanations in a personal message afterwards. So we're here too for that. So some housekeeping first. That's a G Selector pun intended for today's session. We're going to just want to keep everybody up to date on what we're doing here at RCS. These are Q&As and remote workflows during all the coronavirus. And one of the things we're offering right now with RCS disaster recovery is for as little as $99 per month, you can sign up now and receive a free Zeta2Go license. If you remember correctly, the Zeta2Go license acts as a seat, so you can have essentially an unlimited number of users to be accessing that one single seat in your Zeta2Go environment, which is a very, very powerful tool. And again, to go back and talk about RCS Cloud and Zeta Cloud-based disaster recovery, the concept is that treat it as like a separate market, if you will. And so all of your changes, all of your metadata, all of your audio, all of your schedules, voice tracks, all that good stuff, backups, sent to the cloud. That's right. This is actually built on Amazon Web Services. So we follow all of the AWS protocols and security measures and all of that good stuff. So it's not a VM in the cloud. It's truly Zeta Cloud is written for Amazon Web Services. And then let's say disaster strikes. You grab your phone, you enable the stream, and then from there you are broadcasting live as you normally would. So that would be voice tracking, adding new elements, all that good stuff. And when you're back and your environment is fixed for whatever reason, you simply restore the SQL backups from Zeta Cloud, and you're going back on your merry way. So very, very helpful. And by the way, John, I don't know if you know, but we had a bunch of clients the past 2 weeks who have actually gotten hit by ransomware. True story. That's the thing. And so, John, looks like you stopped sharing your screen, just so you know. And so what we did is essentially, you want to make sure as a friendly reminder to back up all your databases and all of that good stuff just to be safe one more time. I know a friend of mine got hit with a ransomware just over the weekend, and it's tough. It is definitely tough, so you don't want to do that. So again, Zeta Cloud-based disaster recovery. You can reach out to your local RCS sales representative. They'll be glad to help you out there. And we can also talk about some options in regards to Zeta2Go and the license and all of that good stuff. Questions, post them on here. We're here to answer for you. And so John, I don't know if you remember John at all, but we did a Facebook Live video probably, it seems like 2 years at this point in time, John, but we did it talking about goal versus rule-based scheduling. If you're an old version 12 user for Selector or version 15, it's a really great video. John was kind of giving his expertise on talking about all of the differences, the subtle nuances, but also the art of applying your music philosophy to goal-based scheduling. Again, the concept is back in version 12 and version 15, it was the old index card. You take it, you put it at the back of the stack. It's all about don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But with G Selector, it's all about a mixture of combining the don't do this, but including do this, do that, and do this too. So it's very flexible in there too. And today I thought we would talk about, in regards to remote workflows, we would talk about Selector2GO. So without further ado, John, I don't know if you want to take it from here, but I got my questions in the background. I'll be monitoring those, but take it away. So first things first, I'll help you out here. You are working right now on a Mac, correct?
First of all, I need to say thank you for the invitation, Nate. I need to give heads up to everyone that we're facing some strange internet issues. So if you see that my voice is breaking, it's normal. We're working from home, social distancing. We try to do our job from different locations in the world. Okay. So yeah, in my private life, I like using Mac. I like Apple devices. Nate knows me. I'm an Apple fan with my watch, with everything. So I'm using Mac. And this doesn't restrict me from using the RCS2GO products. So what I've done here, first of all, I'm using my VPN connection. We always advise our clients using a VPN. It's more secure than just having a public port. And I'm using my Chrome, and the Chrome is connected directly on my Selector service host. Some people will ask why we need to use Selector to Go, because for people with very bad internet connection like me, Selector to Go is a saver. It's using way less bandwidth and everything can go way faster. Don't forget, when you're using, for example, remote desktop from Windows, Windows doesn't know that you're on VPN. They will still try to use all the available bandwidth exists. The same for any other third-party remote apps. They use as much bandwidth as they can to just show you the correct graphics. In the Selector to Go case, you just have an internet page actually, and you go straight on your station. And trust me, some people say, yeah, Selector to Go, I can only edit the log and do some edits. No, guys, it's been almost 12 months. We've done amazing development in Selector to Go. So first screen, typical G selector. We have username, password. We can also choose different databases. I know several people, they have several databases. Or we can use organization in case Selector to Go is integrated with Active Directory. For my case here, I have a very simple username and no password. So I just type my username and I log in. And I think the screen is familiar, right, Nate?
Correct. And one thing I want to point out too, John, is so you're using you're on 4.8.0 version 3.3.2. Just so you know, we did do, as John was saying, a big revamp on Selector to Go version 4.7.1, right, John? Where
Exactly,
we include linker, clocks, and a lot more. So I know that we've had a couple of users who've reached out to us when I've been demoing our Selector to Go and mentioning that, I don't have clocks as part of my Selector to Go. Just be aware that's part of, we want to get you in the latest and greatest version 4.8.0. And that is, as long as you have a support contract, which pretty much everybody does, that includes free upgrades. So in case you're seeing John's screen here and you're missing clocks or linker, we want to get you on 4.8.0. You can reach out to support. That's 914-259-4900. That's 914-259-4900. Or you can go to support@rcsworks.com. You can email them, and there's also a website called rcsworks.com/bookings. That's BOOKINGS. Those are all ways that you can schedule an upgrade and get you all these cool features. So just so you know that, it's available too.
Hey guys, I don't want you to worry about the upgrades. We hear some people say, yeah, now we work from home. How are we going to upgrade the server? Most of the times, upgrade takes few minutes and it's just going to be not harmful for your system. It's very easy process, especially with the internet update feature we have. But let's skip this discussion now. Let's go to Selector to Go. First of all, you can choose your station. I have here all of my stations, and then you can navigate on the menus. I think for some V12 people, this reminds them something. You can still use your numpad or the numbers to navigate locations like library, linker, clocks, or analysis. You can still use 1, 2, 3. So, for example, if I hit number 1 on my keyboard, it will take me straight to the library. What's new here? We have many things new. And if you see the loading of my screen, that means that my internet right now, it's pretty slow. And my system is trying to load. Imagine if I was using remote desktop, how slower this would be. So library, we have all the cool functionality from the library. I have the browse, I have the song. I can view properties and change things on the song. And of course, I have my category changer the same way in G selector. I'll go to browse. It's my favorite part. On the top, we have some settings. We have advanced search. We have the pane down, so we can say we can have a view of if you want to have a history. Let's go and look for a song. I have to say that I really like the Selector2GO UI. Okay, for example, if I go here, my song, my 3 nights, you see I have the full history. I have also the plot history. I can see the plots. I can also see the enhanced history, like artist, like song group, like a vocalist. I have all the cool functionality from G-Selector in Selector2GO. Uh, if I double click on a song, for example, my 3 nights here, you'll see that it will take me directly in the song card. So here I can do all of my edits, and trust me, we don't miss anything here. We have the active, inactive, media ID, we have all the attributes, the participant attributes, we have the media user defined, all the available user defined, we have station specific attributes. Also, we have characteristics, we have all the dates when the song was last edited, and also we have our full history map the same way like G Selector. What's different here? Many people ask when they received the latest 471, guys, what's going on with the player? So this is a brand new cool feature we introduced for all the Zeta integrated systems. So in case your station is integrated with Zeta, we have the brand new player. I'm gonna make my window bigger because I wanna show this amazing feature. So as you can see, on the first column, we have the audition. Right now, you can just double click on the song and the player. I don't know if you can hear the audio right now because of the Zoom restrictions and everything. But once you double click, the system will automatically play the audio. What is very unique with the latest version of Selector2GO, the audio file that you listen, the audio you get, it's not an actual file, but it's a direct streaming from your service host. So what you get is a streaming. That means you don't have to compromise security, you don't have to share files, you don't have to slow down your internet connection. Because all the audio is streamed directly from Zeta. And what is this? Why this is so awesome? Because we have all the Zeta fields, like the open. I can hear directly the opening of the song. I can play the hook directly, or I can play the segue marks, intros, and everything. It's a really, really powerful player. Trust me. And this is only in Selector2GO at the moment.
And John, remind me too, that's in the editor as well, right?
This is everywhere. It's everywhere you need a player. It's in the library, it's in the linker, and it's in the editor.
And the reason I bring that up is because we have a lot of users who like to massage their logs from the editor, and they like to kind of preview transitions, the opening, close. And so if you find yourself as one of those users who go in the editor, make some changes, but you want to hear kind of the fade out of one element into the next element, you can preview that audio with Selector2GO.
Exactly. And this is what makes Selector2GO so powerful. And let me say it again. I know people using remote applications where you're connected on the remote application. Again, it's very hard to get the audio. Sometimes the audio breaks. In case you're using Selector2GO, the audio, it's streamed. It's like having a streaming. It's like a very smart encoder, and the audio you receive is streamed. That means it's real time and it's the best available quality. Also, don't forget that you can, as I mentioned before, you can do advanced search. Category changer is the same like G Selector. You can do all the magic. You can drag, drop. Is exactly the same functionality we have, but it's faster. You can just go drag and drop a song from one place to the other. We have the linker. This is new also. We have the same functionality as G Selector. You can browse links, edit links, move links, anything you want to do. What is really new, Nate? It's my favorite part. It's the clocks. We have clock definition and clock assignment. This is the first step for creating the clocks. That means you can create or edit a clock, and you can assign clocks. And I think this is what most of the people need in the daily routine. So the clocks it's again the same. We have all the clock functionality, chain, timing, whatever is active actually on your setup clocks in the G-Selector client is gonna be shown here. In case you're using, for example, S3 lock levels, you should see the lock levels here. For my example here, I don't have my lock levels active. What I really like, Nate, this you have to see it. Like, I think you're gonna like it too. It's actually the assignment grid, which we have these colors here that represent the part of the day. So the night it's dark blue, and when we go closest to the noontime, it gets brighter. And also we have a very smart grid here that can help you, um, so you don't lose yourself, you don't get lost inside the grid. So you can see
Yeah,
that
and
the
John,
functionality.
show that one more time here. If you would just pick a day part here, or pick an hour, and if you notice, by the way, I know it's kind of faint on probably through two different screens, but you'll see there's kind of that light blue outline with kind of an X and
Exactly.
Y axis to help show you where you are. So visually speaking, you can see John's cursor there. You can see that 9 a.m. right now, 12, 8, 5, all that good stuff. You can see that it's an outline with a blue outline kind of to show you where you are actually in the grid, which is, again, really helpful while working in here.
Yeah. And in the same functionality, we have all of our grids. Our grids are still here. So even if you're using a rolling grid or something, you still have all your grids. You can add a grid, edit a grid, delete a grid, clone a grid. And we have exactly the same functionalities in the clocks. I can insert a clock. I can copy a clock. Everything is the same like the G-Selector client. I'm gonna move really fast. I'll go to the scheduler. Guys, this is where the magic happens. Our scheduler is exactly the same. Some people are asking about the scheduler. I need to tell you that the scheduling process from day one in Gselector was happening on the service host, on the server. We don't schedule on the local client. That means the speed, it's gonna be exactly the same like you're using the box. You shouldn't be worried like, oh, I'm gonna use the scheduler on my iPad, it's gonna take forever. No. The scheduling process, it's happening on the server side. So you don't have to worry about resources or if your system is outdated or slow. Here, the functionality is the same. We have the same amazing grid as Nate mentioned before, with highlighting the boxes. We have the schedule, unschedule, pass order limits, dates. We have all the history options. So it's actually exactly the same feature like our Gselector client.
Go ahead, John. I was going to say, if you want to show that pass order limit just to show everybody
Sure.
exactly where that is, but there's your pass order limits as
In
well,
case
just so
you
you know.
want to in case you want to unschedule, and of course we have the same settings, Nate. This is also something new. We have the same unscheduled settings. We can preserve our clock request. We can switch from the pass order limits to the specific categories. I know some people like to unschedule in one category for whatever reasons. And the same with scheduler. We can export after the scheduling. We're going to talk about the export actually right now. And we can have our browse list here or schedule a link browse list. Also, it's amazing. You can integrate your traffic, Nate, in case you like integrating your traffic in Gselector. If you have predefined settings on your Gselector client, like most of the people do, like they have a time and date and a folder. In case there is a traffic file for this specific date, when I hit integrate traffic, the system is going to integrate the traffic automatically on the log. I still have my publication status. I can still say, for example, this here, it's ready for export or exported. And if you see the colors also are the same like our Gselector client, so nothing changed here. And of course, if you have a predefined export schedule assignment, you can export the schedule directly from here in case you don't have integration with Zeta or you're using NextGen. So you can actually even export your log straight from Selector2GO. Isn't it powerful, Nate?
I mean,
It is,
I
right?
love using it. I've been saying Selector2GO for years. One thing I just want to recap for you, John, here, in case you're just joining us right now. So with John, he's our assistant Gselector product manager, talking about Selector2GO and all the different features on there. And we're in the scheduler right now. By the way, just so you know, if you have Gselector, you have Selector2GO. It's part of your contract. So if you need to help set it up, there is a website we have in there. I can put in the comments section to remind all the users how to get it configured. Also, little things too, the publication status John was talking about. If you are one of our S3 clients, that's essentially our scheduled subscription service. Not getting too much into that right now. We're going to save that for actually next week. But if you are an S3 customer, that's essentially you have one master log and you have subscribers that get that log. If you are a publisher, you can do so from here still using Selector2GO. And as John was saying, if you're integrated with Zeta, you still maintain that 100% live integration. So if you make a change in Selector2GO, you're going to make a change in Zeta. And if you schedule log in Selector2GO, you're going to schedule log in Zeta. It's going to be transferred over. If you have NextGen or another automation software, we can configure your export schedule so that, as John was showing you from this window, and again, this window is flexible. It's from multiple locations, wherever you're logged in. You can still export the schedule and it will send to your automation system, which again, very, very powerful tool.
And something important for people that just logged in. Yeah. Selector2GO can run on any browser, on any OS. For my example here, I'm using a Mac Pro. You see I'm using Mac OS and it's still fine. You don't have any limitations because it's a simple HTML5 web page. Can be used anywhere. Let's move forward. The most crucial part for the people out there is the editor. How am I gonna edit my log? I need my, I need to go and edit that. I actually can edit. Let's go back on the scheduler. Let me pick a day here. A scheduled day.
And while you're loading that up, John, too, I just posted that link in our comments section. So if you have any questions regarding setting up your Selector2GO, that's available in our comments. So you can go check that link out.
So editor, also we did a lot of work in the editor the past two versions since 4.7.1. First of all, color scheme or everything you need, it's exactly the same. You see, I had this kind of strange colors on my Gselector client for the songs and the links, the fly-in links and the spot blocks. The colors are exactly the same. And the editor layout, it's still the same. You can also, in case you have different browse formats, you can always go and jump on another browse format and change the whole layout of the editor. It's really up to you. It depends on the settings you have on your Gselector client. Some people ask, guys, what about the keys? Like, it's exactly the same. I just hit my K. I'm still able to use my shortcuts, my K, my J, whatever you used to have in Gselector. You still have it in the Selector2GO. Nate asked for this before. Our brand new audio player, our Zeta2Go player, it's still here. So in case you want to listen to the audio from the consideration window, just double click on the speaker and the audio is going to play directly. It's a straight directly streaming from the Zeta server. In terms of functionality, we still have a history. If you want to bring the history app, it's exactly the same thing. We have some help here on the top. We have the insert song, insert links. We have the replace. We have all the replace functionality like we have in the Gselector. And a little bit more. This is you can view your next unscheduled, your previous unscheduled. But if you are used to go using your keyboard, you can still do it. It's not changed at all. And of course, we have the header, the footer, total time, date, hour. Guys, I'm trying to say that it's exactly the same like Gselector, but wave. But when you are using, if we compare the speed of the remote desktop or a third-party software and Selector2GO, trust me, Selector2GO, it's way faster. I'm actually connected here. We're hosting actually this Facebook Live today, and my internet speed, my app speed, it's just 1 megabit, and my down speed is only 5. So look how fast it goes. I have no problems at all. Something also for the editor, we have all the status the same like Selector, so you know what is scheduled, what is a fly in, and if something is played from Zeta, you can see exactly the same icons like our Gselector client. And my other favorite feature in Selector2GO that we added like in 4.7.1, it's the new on air button. It's the same like the Gselector. If I hit on air, it will take me. Yeah, now it's not going to take me because I'm not scheduled for this date. It's going to take me on the item that plays right now on the radio, the specific time in Zeta. Any, I don't know, Nate, I forgot something, my friend?
No, I was going through. I was going to talk about the color scheme, how that gets reflected in there. And again, you were talking about how it's powerful in the sense that if you find yourself want to jump in and make a quick change, you can have kind of Gselector in the background just hovering around there and almost like monitoring what's going on, and just jump in, make a change, and you're good to go.
Exactly.
And again, any changes you make in Selector2GO will reflect instantly in your selector proper. So if you do have multiple users who is accessing different stations or the same stations, you'll see those updates change in here as well.
Exactly. Also, something important about the Selector2GO. I know some people try to use like an app server, which is from Microsoft, and sometimes they complain about speeds. The app server sometimes from Microsoft can really slow down in terms of connections and everything. Selector2GO, we don't have a limitation right now with the connections. You can have 5, 10 users connected. This is gonna be just fine. It's like calling the website 10 times. It's not going to slow down your system or something.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing you need is a VPN. We say VPN because it's more safe.
Mm-hmm.
And here you go. You connect it. We also have analysis. We have our spin analysis, like our deselector client. And of course, anytime you want, you can click on the big icon here on the Selector2GO. You can click and you can go in the main menu and flip stations. You can go on the classic rock or whatever stations. You still have the multi-station functionality. I think we made a good review of the new features of the Selector2GO at the moment.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to think of what else I want to bring up in regards to Go. I was monitoring some of the comments here on our end. So obviously, just kind of do an overall review. For those who are just tuning in, we got John. He's our assistant G Selector product manager here, talking about G Selector2GO. If you're viewing here and seeing that maybe perhaps your Selector2GO looks slightly different from ours, we probably want to get you upgraded in the most recent version of Selector2GO. As John was saying, it's just merely an upgrade. It's free, part of your contract, and all that good stuff. And then we can get you essentially on 4.7.1 was the version that we introduced linker and clocks. We want to get you on 4.8.0. That's the latest and greatest G Selector. And again, as John was talking about, I mean, if you look at John's perspective, he's on here looking at his station. You can really control, your normal workday. So you have the library. That's going to be adding assets into your metadata, into your library. You have the linker, same exact thing as a library. You have your clocks. So you want to change your clock structure. You can do that both by definition
I love it.
and assignment. And we do have, as you can tell too, we have all their clocks there at the very top left. But we also have the actual 20, or I guess the what do you call it, the 60-minute clock window on the right-hand side. Got the assignment grid, which is still there. Again, the nice colors showing you kind of daytime, nighttime, all of that good stuff. The scheduler, just as you would in the scheduler. Again, we're just scheduling your day. You have the pass orders that are there. You can pick your date range. Just point that out in case you're looking at this as a version 12 user. And just so you know, in G Selector, you can schedule more than 7 days at a time. And it doesn't have to be continuous either. So if you wanted to pick, whatever date range, you can do that here. Just schedule, boom, you're good to go. So in case you are one of those users, I mean, here's a great example. I mean, right now, let's just say with all the craziness going on, if you wanted to schedule 2 weeks out, you can schedule 2 weeks, just like that. And then, boom, you're good to go. You're done. If you have any reason for a schedule for a pass order limit, that's there as well for you. If you're just scheduling just music only or just links, you can do that here. Again, there's that settings drop down that we talked about earlier. And again, the big thing here too is export schedule. If you're integrated with Zeta, that's 100% live integrated with Zeta. So any changes done on G Selector or Selector2GO is automatically reflected in Zeta and Zeta2Go. And if you wanted to, you can integrate traffic in here as well. So if you want to see how your spots line up, if you're worrying about timing purposes, getting to close to as 60 minutes as possible, you can easily go in here, integrate your traffic, boom, that's in here. You can change your publication status if you're an S3 client and you got to make sure that your subscribers have their music logs. You can do that from here. You also have your export schedule. And so again, if you want to export to Zeta, that's done automatically. If you want to export to your other automation system, you can do that too. That's also here as well. One really cool thing I wanted to kind of talk about, John, is look at his URL. So we were talking about earlier about G Selector and Selector2GO and how Selector2GO is actually URL. It's not an app that you get in the App Store or the Apple Store, wherever it may be. It's just a URL. And as John was saying, VPN for security, that's kind of common practice these days. But the big thing here is, those are multiple URLs. Yep, our little VPN there. These are multiple URLs. They're server specific. And when I'm saying by multiple, I mean if you have, let's say you're a market manager, John, and you have 3, 4, 5 markets. I'm not talking about just stations because John was showing you. If you hit the selector to go, that brings you back to the home. You can choose your station. What I'm talking about is different markets. So I could be, let's just say, a country format captain, and I have 3 different markets with individual country stations in them. I could, as a market manager, just have 3 different URLs saved as my favorites. One can be, now I'm here in Danbury, so it could be a Danbury, Connecticut selector to go. It could be John's selector to go. It can be New York selector to go. And they all open up different specific market databases with stations inside of them. So if you did need to go and access multiple selectors, you can do so here. And just have them all them open and accessing at any given time, which again, we're talking about here. One of the questions and answers we had as part of our remote workflows is trying to give you ideas on how to have better workflows, better functionality, and be more efficient with all the craziness that's going on here. So if you do find yourself with multiple markets and multiple stations, let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you out and make sure that's working and all that good stuff.
Cool. I want to make only one comment about Selector2GO. Guys, don't forget that Selector2GO, you can access it from any device, so you can have the same screen on your iPad. We have a very specific version, a mobile version for your phone, but anytime you can go on the browser on your phone and choose the settings and say, show me the full website. So on your phone, it's going to look a little bit different because we try to squeeze all functionality in your small phone screen. And we have, the biggest advantage, because some people say, okay, I'm not going to do all this thing. I'm going to just use the data exchange and restore and send backups over. Yeah, this is a way also to use gSelector, but trust me, in this case, you are not live integrating to Zeta and you're not live in your database. By using Selector2GO, you are always connected on your station. You are always on your database. And also you can enjoy this, my favorite, this audio player.
Absolutely, yeah, which is, again, a very powerful tool. One thing we haven't talked about yet, John, to kind of go through a huge summary here, is the analysis tab. I don't think we've done that here yet.
Yeah. The analysis is still, let's say, under development. We have the basic, which is the spins. We have just the song spins here, or actually we can take spins for a specific date. Let's say from the 28th I'll go to the 25th, and I can see a spin analysis of our song. This is just the song spins. We don't have yet the vocalist or other spins, but I think this is what most of the stations use. They want to check the spins of the songs.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can do it quickly.
I'm sorry, I was about to say something.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was waiting for the screen.
I was looking at comments.
In the same way, like the gSelector, we can always have our spin list. But if we say, for example, the talk song, what's going on? I want to see the full history. I can again jump and see the whole history, or I can split my screen and have on the top the song, the analysis, and on the bottom I can still have my history tab. It's pretty powerful too, and I can say that it does the calculation pretty fast.
And just going through, I'm checking some comments here on my my phone, John. So just throwing this out there. I know we talked about. You said one of your favorite features is the fact that you can preview audio all throughout Selector2GO. And again, key word there is everywhere, all throughout Selector2GO. You can actually go and preview audio. What's another feature that you really like about Selector2GO? Maybe it's a workflow, a concept, or something. But what's something else in there that you like personally?
Actually, something I like that this is not widespread, but I'm gonna give you a small tip for people out there is that you can always go and copy paste the URL. You see here it says Selector2GO #analysis. If I go here, for example, and I change it and I go library, for example. Did I type it correctly, guys? Because I'm a little bit blind today. I'm on my blind days. If I go, I can go through the URL, and I can go directly in the gSelector location. you're gonna ask me why we need that. Because some people need to create shortcuts on what do they do. Oh, why? Okay, guys, I need to remind you that my screen is quite slow right now.
And so yeah, so you can, in theory, I mean, you can also kind of make that if you make that your home page, it would go right to the library and right to the clocks and all of that.
Yeah, for example, you want to have someone like one of your editors, you want to go straight on the editor, you can just copy paste this link, create a shortcuts, and the system will go directly, schedule later,
Cool.
will go directly on the editor.
Yep.
Also, you can see here that I didn't pay my fees, so I don't have license through date beyond license expiry date. I have to pay my license. That's a good reminder. We've done a lot of development, Nate, through the past versions of Selector and Selector2GO. But I think now that with most of the people working from home, we start doing more and more, and we start evaluating more stuff in the G-Selector. In terms of our workflow, I can say that nothing is changing. Like, I like that Selector2GO, with Selector2GO, I'm gonna keep exactly the same workflow like G-Selector. Nothing is changing. Nothing is different. Nothing is weird. It's still the same scheduler and the same product.
Yeah, it's always funny because we get people always ask us, what we like about certain, to-go products or certain features or all of that. But the funny thing that, for us, because we work on it all the time, all day, is it truly is the same, almost the same product. And again, if you're finding yourself as, let's say, a consultant, for example, if you're consulting multiple stations, this is a great tool. So rather than have you in, multiple different versions of people's databases in G-Selector, you could, as a consultant, just go right in here to Selector2GO, and boom, there's the database. So you can have, and again, me personally, I like the URL aspect because I like the fact that I can have multiple tabs open with different, maybe different stations or wherever it is, and I can actually go and make live real changes. So if you find yourself, just throwing out that workflow there, if you find yourself as let's say you have a consultant, or if you are a consultant yourself, you can go and essentially bounce back and forth, and you can literally go and you can jump in, make a change, and then you can go and end up, adding new songs, for example, changing the categories. John, jump to the category changer for me, because I know that's a great...
Something small I want to show that
people
don't know about it. We have a very powerful advanced search, guys. So if you hit on your browser, you hit advanced, because this is another feature I love about Selector2GO, that I can directly on the browser, without make any crazy clicks, I can hit advanced, and now you see the advanced search is gonna pop up without having to go through other tabs. It's quite fast. I can say that the song is active, and I can add as many arguments as I want and create an advanced search on the fly really fast.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go back to your topic. Like you said, category changer.
Category changer, yeah.
Awesome.
And so essentially from here, what we can do is, if you are a consultant making changes on the fly, you can just go drag and drop things over here, and then boom, you're good to go. So you can go and, make your changes, make your metadata changes, schedule your log, massage your logs. And in times of right now, when there is kind of a little chaos going on and you have multiple people accessing it, what you could do is you could essentially go and schedule a log. And with the export schedule enabled, you can then go and export the log to your automation system for your client, or your consultant can have it ready for you, ready to go. So again, very powerful tools in regards to accessing data, live changes, multiple stations, multiple markets. I know we always forget too, but don't forget Selector2GO is enterprise driven. So you can see that right now John's using RCS Top 40. He can bounce around to as many stations that are part of your database.
We can go to the hot AC station, or we can go to the... Let's go to an S3 station. That's interesting now.
Yeah. And go ahead, John.
I'm sorry, interrupting you. I was about to say, please. Before you said you can have several, actually I have the JBonu 3 and the 5, but they're running on the brand new version, so I'm not going to show it right now. I'm going to wait for the next Facebook Live. So you see here, publication status. I can still do S3 log, which for us it's the iHeartMedia custom log. We have exactly the same functionality. Nothing stops you from using Selector2GO, and trust me, it's fast. I want to mention again my internet speed right now. I'm in the middle of Georgia. I'm quite far from the civilization right now. So my down speed it's 5 megabit. My app speed it's barely 1 megabit, and I'm still working fast, and I'm not missing everything from my regular system.
Yeah, it's a very, as we said, we've been saying numerous times, a powerful tool. I commented on here to show you where you can go and get some instructions on installing Selector2GO. Just to recap here, John, as we kind of wrap up our outro. So obviously Selector2GO, part of your G Selector. So it is free. We can help you install it. We can help you. Actually, I take it back. There's no real installation. It's just a matter of just showing you the URL and getting on there. So I misspoke. So yeah, we can show you how to get it configured, how to access it remotely. Again, we do encourage VPNs because obviously that's kind of the safety protocol these days. And again, you can use Mac, as John has his Selector2GO here. It's in a Mac. He's using Chrome. You can use Safari, Firefox, all of the browsers in there. Windows also in there too. And I think we also want to talk about, so we have the configuration on that document there, part of the contract. It's included. And again, 4.8.0 is latest and greatest, but definitely for Selector2GO, 4.7.1 is a lot of these features. I know we've had that in the past. People have asked us what version they're on. And yeah, John, anything else you wanted to add before we kind of remind people about some Zeta stuff?
I'm going to say again about the bandwidth. I know some people out there, they are struggling, they're working from home, poor internet connections. I know many people right now, they are using mobile hotspot. Guys, trust me, using Selector2GO, you're not going to use so many data as you use when you try another third-party remote access service or Windows remote desktop. This is really cool in terms of data.
And by the way, we should probably add on that too. G Selector itself is very flexible. It's one of the nice things. So you can literally have somebody keeps calling me over here. You can literally have multiple stations on here. Sorry, I got lost train of thought. G Selector is very flexible, so you can have multiple instances. You can have multiple scenarios. So as we said, you can have one person using G Selector the client, but we totally encourage you to try Selector2GO. If you have multiple markets, you can do that as well. Again, just very, very flexible in regards to what you can do. A lot of different options there. So one of the great things about in today's remote workflows is we can cater this to wherever you want it to do. So if you have questions in regards to how you want to execute that, definitely reach out, definitely comment, reach out to support. That's support@rcsworks.com or 914-259-4900.
It's also your small trick. You saw that?
I did not. I was in my brain going through numbers.
Guys, do you understand how flexible it is? I have in one tab the Classic Rock Master Station, and I have in another tab the RCS Top 40.
Yeah.
I can do whatever. I can have as many tabs as I want.
Yeah. And again, so if you're consultants, it's a big thing there too. So, all right, I'm going to wrap this up here as Frank's jumping on. We have our second one coming up over here. Just want to show you one last time. We have our remote workflows in here for Zeta Cloud-based disaster recovery. For as little as $99 a month, you can sign up now and receive one free Zeta2GO license. That's in here. That's like a seat if you think of it that way. And again, a very, very powerful tool over there. So, John, thank you so much. We appreciate all the time. And
stay safe.
We'll do more with you here as we continue on our Facebook Live stuff. So, thank you, John. Questions, let us know. If not, we will see you, don't forget, Thursday. That's our locked-in date, Thursday at 11 a.m., talking about some Zeta, Zeta2GO, and Zeta Cloud-based disaster recovery. So, be safe. Do you and yours. We'll see you Thursday at 11. Bye-bye.